All right, coming up, a Lowcountry nonprofit aiming to help expectant mothers, how it's making an impact on that community, one diaper at a time.
The heat and humidity ramping up once again. First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst walks us through the next heat wave in your certified most accurate forecast.
Now, your certified most accurate forecast from WMBF First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst.
The rain we've seen through a good chunk of the afternoon slowly winding down tonight. Most of that heavy rain now sitting offshore in the rain that is across Horry County. Notice the yellows disappearing here over the last 15-20 minutes. Not as heavy, and we'll continue to see a slow drying trend through this evening. Couple little showers back through Interstate 95. That is the cold front moving through. As that moves by, not only does it dry us out, but actually brings in a brief drop in humidity and a drop in rain chances here as we head through midweek. So we'll keep those clouds around here through at least sunset. By tomorrow morning, though, most of those are well offshore. A mainly sunny forecast as we head through Tuesday, and with the drier air in place, rain chances a lot lower. May sneak in 1 or 2 showers. Solid 90% of us are dry as we get through Tuesday. Temperatures in the upper 80s to right around 90 inland of the waterway. But unlike the weekend, where that 88 felt like 104, maybe feeling more like 91, 92. It's still hot, but not near as hot as we've seen at times here over the last couple of weeks. That's thanks to the moisture exiting. It's been stuck over us, helping to give us a good coverage of showers and storms. Notice by tomorrow, it's all sitting offshore. Some very dry air in place for this time of the year. We'll keep it that way through Wednesday. I mentioned brief, because by Thursday it's filtering back in. We start to see some more afternoon rain chances as we head into the weekend. No big storm systems here, but scattered showers and storms each afternoon. Those start Friday and linger through the weekend. You'll see rain at some point through the weekend, hopefully not each afternoon. It does turn a bit more active, and the humidity starting to filter back in as well. That muggy meter right back to where it's been, certainly into those summer levels through the weekend. And with temperatures climbing, the muggy meter climbing, so will the heat index, what it actually feels like. I mentioned tomorrow, low 90s. By Wednesday, it's starting to bump up. Thursday, it feels like 100. Friday, we're above 100. We're above 105 at times through Saturday and Sunday. Big heat, but the relief will come in the form of a couple of those afternoon storms. Not a washout by any means, but there will be a few of those around as we head throughout the weekend. Your 7-day forecast showing that more active forecast as we head through the weekend. Tomorrow morning, not bad at all for this time of the year. We'll drop into low 70s, upper 60s inland, where those mornings will continue to climb into the upper 70s. Those afternoons pushing into the upper 80s here. The 10-day forecast showing more 80s and 90s, so that warmth will begin to build back in. Your inland forecast also pushing those temperatures into the 90s as we make our way through the weekend. Mid-90s, 93, 94 degrees. We'll see rain chances eventually moving back in as well.
I don't know what we're wanting more, the lack of humidity or the lack of rain.
It's not a great way to start the week, but at least
it's a Monday.
76 outside instead of 96.
It definitely feels like a Monday.
It does,
today.
100%.
You have to say it definitely feels like a Monday. It's one of those days where we had to start with 2 cups of coffee immediately.
Mother Nature made sure of that.
That's right.
All right, here is a look at what's happening for you across the Carolinas. Mecklenburg County officials just invested more than $500,000 into a new initiative to help the homeless. That money will go toward a new street team, which hopes to help those experiencing homelessness get connected to resources. Faith Alford from our sister station in Charlotte tells us more.
The expectation from our community is that we work towards ending homelessness. However, we need the bodies to do that. And we also need the housing resources to do that.
Jessica Lefkowitz has been working with people who are homeless for 3 years. She created her own nonprofit, Hearts for the Invincible, helping those in need by providing food and access to mental health services and emergency housing. Her experience is why Mecklenburg County chose her to lead this new outreach program.
Hearts for the Invisible Coalition is the organization that Mecklenburg County is partnering with to expand street outreach in our community. Those are 2 things that the county has not invested in previously. And what we know is that when you are living outside, you are not connected to any kind of resource.
The street outreach team is focused on building relationships. Lefkowitz tells me people suffering with chronic homelessness often don't reach out for help because there is a lack of trust there.
You can't go out into the community and engage in an encampment and just think that they're going to automatically receive you. So it takes consistency. We have to take these things to them. And we also have to build the trust with them to get them to accept these services.
Lefkowitz has been doing this work by herself for years with no financial support. Now with the county's partnership, she has a team. With so much to do, she's hoping others will join her in these outreach efforts and provide resources like transportation, mental health and substance abuse services, as well as job training.
And we're not looking for an 8-hour, 5-day-a-week commitment. If it's 4 hours a week, if it's 4 hours twice a week, we'll take what we can get, but we definitely need it. And that we can provide wraparound services in housing, but we need it when they're on the streets as well.
And in Charleston, a nonprofit organization is offering new parents a chance to get free supplies and to learn more about parenthood. That organization, called I Serve with Joy, partnered with other Charleston groups to host their second community baby shower. Hundreds of new and expecting moms, dads, and kids showed up to the Homewood Hilton in Charleston to stock up on diapers, wipes, baby clothes, and more, all free of charge. The shower gave community members a safe space to ask about the resources they need for starting a family. Their first event was a drive-through that was held last month and saw nearly 500 people. And they topped off today's event with giveaways and a celebration for families. Volunteers say the most important part is rallying around new families and showing support for your neighbors.
Caring is power. When our neighbors know that we care about each other, such an event like this, that we have information, a lot of valuable information along with baby stuff that people may not know that they are aware. It's a way that we can impact the community and how we care for each other.
The organization doesn't have a set date for their next event, but they say they do plan to hold more events in the future to help underserved communities.
Well, you may not have heard of the energy drink Prime, but there's a good chance your kids have. The push to have the FDA look into the drink, backed by YouTube influencers Logan Paul and KSI, and also look into that caffeine content.
In your health headlines, lawmakers are sounding the alarm over the health risks of a popular energy drink
that actually has 6 times the caffeine of a can of Coke. Also poses a health risk to children and teens.
CNN's Gloria Pazmino explains.
It's one of the hottest trends of the summer.
Uh-oh.
Now, the influencer-created energy drink Prime is facing growing scrutiny.
This is an eye-popping level of caffeine for a young kid's body.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling on the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to investigate the product. Prime energy drinks contain more than double the caffeine of a can of Red Bull and 6 times more caffeine than a can of Coca-Cola.
The amount of caffeine in these drinks can give children and teens headaches. It can give them jitters, nervousness. It can interfere with the sleep cycle, which is so important to the developing brain.
According to its website, the company does not recommend the energy drinks for anyone under the age of 18. Still, Schumer claims the company is targeting children through social media.
Kids see it on their phones as they scroll, and then they actually have a need for it.
The company also sells a caffeine-free drink called Prime Hydration, but there are concerns the branding between the two products are too similar.
Because the product is billed as a hydration and sports drink in its other near-identical form, kids are likely to ingest cans of this stuff with the parents being unaware.
I'm Gloria Pazmino reporting.
And since these claims, many pediatricians now warning about the impact these energy drinks can have on young children. Dr. Whitney Minnock says the 200 milligrams found in Prime drinks is simply too much and could have bad consequences for teens and kids.
A normal teenager should not need that much caffeine ever. No. Caffeine can cause heart palpitations. It can cause chest pain. If a patient perhaps has an undiagnosed cardiac issue, it can exacerbate that.
Well, the makers of Prime claim it is clearly labeled as not for anyone under 18, women who are nursing, or people who may be sensitive to caffeine. Tonight on NBC Nightly News, what the FDA does and does not regulate when it comes to caffeine and energy drinks. And trending right now over on Facebook, some of the hottest days of the season are here, and summers in South Carolina can be especially steamy if you aren't from around here. Over on WMBF Facebook's page, we asked you what advice you would give to a South Carolina newbie about summers.
As you can imagine, we received a lot of responses, more than 100 exactly. Many of you said to just stay inside, avoid the heat and the summer wildlife like snakes. Others say to embrace it, just wear sunscreen, take advantage of the beach when you can as well. And my advice would kind of put that all together. Sunscreen, invest in sunglasses, a hat, some type of an umbrella when you're going outside.
Get ready for that electric bill.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's a good one.
You want to keep it cool. And I was going to say too, to a certain extent, I mean, you have to embrace it. I mean, you're down here because it's beautiful. It's a part of the greatness of South Carolina as it's so warm. But I did find myself spraying antiperspirant in places I never thought I would my first summer here.
And just be aware of that sun. That sun is so much brighter and stronger here that you want to be safe while you're enjoying the beautiful weather.
Right.
Remember, you can share your thoughts right now on the WMBF News Facebook page.
Yeah, not much of an issue here so far today. With the rain and the heat index, 76. Yeah, no complaints there. Of course, that's coming with the clouds and the rain. We clear the rain out. Temperatures aren't bad tomorrow and Wednesday. The heat index low 90s, which is actually on the cooler side for this time of the year. But then we stair-step our way up back above 100 by Thursday. And then we are fully into that summer heat by the weekend, climbing above 105 by Sunday. And while we're dry for tomorrow and Wednesday, we'll bring in a few more of those afternoon storms for the weekend.
A new initiative meant to protect your child from the dangers human trafficking poses. The plan state leaders have to address this issue.